go!
Welcome aboard the CRUZES TV. Today, we're taking you on a breathtaking 45-minute Chicago architecture river cruise, right through the heart of the city. Whether you're a first-time visitor or a lifelong Chicagoan, this tour offers one of the most unique views of the Windy City, from the water. So sit back, relax, and let's dive into the history, the architecture, and the beauty that makes Chicago world-famous. The Chicago River played a critical role in the birth of this city. In the early 1800s, Chicago grew rapidly because of its location. The river connected the Great Lakes to the Mississippi River via the Illinois and Michigan Canal. This made Chicago a central hub for trade, industry, and eventually architecture. But what's even more fascinating? In 1900, engineers did something unthinkable. They reversed the flow of the river. Yes, to improve sanitation and protect Lake Michigan, the Chicago River was engineered to flow backward, away from the lake. It remains one of the greatest engineering feats in American history. Chicago is often called the birthplace of the skyscraper. After the Great Chicago Fire of 1871, much of the city had to be rebuilt. This gave rise to innovative architecture and new building techniques, most notably, the use of steel frame construction. Right along the river, you'll see architectural styles that span more than a century, from Neo-Gothic and Art Deco, to modernism and postmodernism. You're not just looking at buildings, you're looking at a living timeline of architecture. Come and let's take a look at some of the most iconic structures along the river. Like Marina City, Wrigley Building, Tribune Tower, Willis Tower, formerly Sears Tower, Aqua Tower. As we cruise along, don't miss the Chicago Architecture Center near the Michigan Avenue Bridge. It's a great place to learn even more about the city's architectural legacy, featuring interactive exhibits and scaled models of iconic skyscrapers from around the world. And of course, there's the Chicago Riverwalk, a beautiful 1.25-mile path filled with public art, restaurants, seating areas, and stunning views of the city. It's a favorite spot for locals and visitors alike, especially in the summer. If you're planning your own trip to Chicago, we highly recommend combining a river cruise like this with a stroll along the Riverwalk. It's relaxing, photo-worthy, and a great way to take in the vibe of downtown. Here are a few quick fun facts. The Chicago River has 18 movable bridges, more than any city in the world. Many are double-deckers, carrying cars on the lower level and pedestrians above. Batman Begins, Transformers, and The Dark Knight all filmed action scenes right here along the river. Every year for St. Patrick's Day, the city dyes the river green, a tradition that dates back to 1962 and draws thousands of spectators. This river cruise isn't just a boat ride, it's a journey through the heart of one of America's greatest cities. Chicago's architecture tells the story of ambition, resilience, and innovation. From towering glass structures to historic stone facades, every building has something to say. If you enjoyed this tour, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the CRUZES TV for more immersive city adventures and travel tips. Thank you so much.
Please do not stand on the seats or sit on the seat backs or railings. Feel free to move about the vessel, however, please walk, do not run on board. Please use extra caution on the stairs, which are located forward and aft. Please do not congregate on them, and please use the handrails. Smoking or vaping on this vessel is unlawful and is not permitted anywhere on board. Flash photography at or near the pilot house is prohibited. Please keep your hands and arms inside the vessel at all times. Interfering with the safe operation of this vessel is illegal and subject to a civil penalty. If you have questions or need assistance, please contact a uniformed crew member. Once again, welcome aboard.
Alright, that funness is over and done with. That fluffy thing coming right out of my face. So, welcome aboard everybody, welcome to Chicago, welcome to Wendella, Chicago's original architecture tour, and the only tour about all these boats you're going to see here on the river, still owned and operated by a family who started it. So, meaning it has an ornate bottom to match an ornate top with a plain stack of flooring in the middle. You'll see at the top of the structure, that temple dome. It's called a belvedere. If anybody on board is looking for a place to propose, you can do it up there. It only cost $3,000. $3,000. Yeah, for an entire hour's worth of time. Yeah, right there. They are so kind for you to pay that price tag, they throw in a free bottle of wine. So, let's say the person you're proposing to right there says the word no, enjoy your wine. But on the left-hand side, everybody, let's get into it. Hello, friend, right here. You're going to see the Tribune Tower. This is the result of a contest held by the paper for who would get to build their office building. Hood and Howe would win in the 30s, and they would knock it out of the park. Beautiful neo-Gothic structure, flying buttresses, arches throughout. Beautiful Gothic ornamentation throughout the structure. You'll find in street-level portions artifacts from all over the world, by the way, brought back by the columnists and writers who used to work there. Go check it out. But on the right, everybody, these two brick structures with Hyatt Regency on them make up the world's largest Hyatt Regency. Ooh. Awesome. Great. Wonderful. Who cares? Moving on. Behind it, the fourth tallest building in Chicago. Why I really told you to look this direction, you're going to see this white rectangular building with the black pinstripe windows. Check it out. This is the Aeon Center. It was originally home to the Standard Oil Company, so it is colloquially known as, nicknamed Big Stan. Big Stan used to be right here. When he opened, he was clad with Italian Carrara marble. That is the same marble Michelangelo would use to create David. Absolutely beautiful material. However, it cannot handle Chicago winters. It did for 9 of them, began crumbling, falling from parts of the structure, and falling onto people possibly below. And right there, they had to reclad the entire structure in North Carolina granite. So, that is an 80-story building. It cost $1 million per floor to reclad. We call that around here the $80 million mistake. So, as we keep going, check out the $80 million mistake right there for me. Edward Durrell Stone, the lead architect, learned a valuable lesson from this mistake. And that lesson is to never take marble for granted. Yeah, we're rolling on. But on the right hand side, everybody, check out the Swiss Hotel by Harry Weiss. Big fan of nautical theming. It's a vessel coming right at us. Behind that in the James Hardy, you're going to see the white undulating balconies of the beautiful Aqua. So, That represents Indiana limestone deposits. There are waterfalls over that way, causing them to erode. That is what you're seeing right now. These right here, limestone deposits. But the beautiful aqua is done by one Jeannie Gang, who's from Rockford, Illinois, and a superstar architect. Right here, when completed in 2009, tallest building in the world by a lead female architect, Jeannie Gang. She had so much more to say. She will return 11 years later, and here on the right hand side will give us the third tallest, absolutely stunning St. Regis. Check it out, everybody. You'll see 6 different shades of beautiful blue on that glass. You'll see on the tallest tower, on the 83rd, 84th floor, there's clearly a hole in this building. This building was not passing the wind shearing test, which is extremely problematic. I'm really just seeing how far this cord goes. But everybody, it would not pass. It did when they put in this blow through, as I refer to it, because that's actually what it does. It keeps the building from being pushed around too much. It allows it to alleviate that pressure by blowing through the structure. Talking hurricane mile per hour winds that high up, all you'd find up there is an elevator shaft and some railing. That is all that exists up there. Above that though is the highest point penthouse you have been or will be in the Chicago area. It, last I checked, is worth $27 million for empty space. Yeah, cool. But for everybody that Johnny got glass box real quick, she got the idea to build this entire structure by simply stacking 8 to 9 popcorn boxes on top of each other. That's where this building came from. But right here, we're on the Chicago River, 45 minutes of it all together, and it is historically one of the most polluted bodies of water. It has a history, a bad reputation, of being basically used as an open sewer. Everything good, bad, terrible, or otherwise was thrown into it. It has come to say little, right here, a long way. So, it used to be full of everything terrible you might imagine. If we went towards our south branch, we would go to a vertical lift bridge, and 5 bridges down from that was the Union Stockyards, where what you would have found many years ago, floating on the top of this water, would have been a thick layer of animal fat, chemical solvents, flammable materials, and everything terrible, as I just said. We have recorded evidence of a chicken standing on top of the Chicago River, and unrelated to the Great Chicago Fire, this body of water has set fire to itself twice. It has self-ignited twice. So when I tell you it's come a long way, I harp it home, and I mean it, because how it came a long way is we reversed the flow. While we did that, we had a population of 300,000 at this time. All of that lovely polluted death water, even though we knew it was like that, we would purify it as much as one could. Things would come through, such as germs and more terrible germs. Right here, everybody. That resulted in said population, 10% of 300,000 either dying from or being strongly affected by waterborne illnesses and diseases. So, a major, major problem that we needed to make somebody else's. So, that's what we did. So, right here, everybody, we're on the Chicago River. There is a river to the southwest of us called the Des Plaines. We dug for almost an entire decade, for 26 miles at 37 feet deep, removing more dirt than the Panama Canal. Then on January 2nd of 1900, we connected the 2 bodies of water. How we did it? We dug. So right there, everybody, we got pickaxes and shovels. We started to dig. We were originally going to use dynamite, but the ground was frozen rock solid, Illinois winter time, so we had to come up with option B, option number 2, and we dug. We eventually were successful in causing a leak to form. That leak, of course, being the Chicago River, would burst through in its entirety thanks to gravity. It would go to the lowest point, and thanks even more to the subcontinental divide, it would permanently reverse flow forever. What that means, though, is now all of our lovely death water is making its way to the Des Plaines. The Des Plaines eventually connects to something called the Mississippi River. Along the Mississippi River sits a town by the name of St. Louis. St. Louis did not want, nor did they ask to receive, our lovely death water. They would get it, they'd be very mad about getting it, and they would turn around and sue us, but they would lose because the trial was held in Chicago. So, everybody, St. Louis salty with us for a long, long time. They have finally gotten back at us. How they chose to do it? Well, They bottled up that delicious death water. They put it in a brown bottle, slapped a red label on it, and that is where we got Budweiser. So that's where it went. But do that joke every time. Finally got somebody here visiting from St. Louis. They said, well, if we are the ones who created Budweiser, I feel pretty good about things because y'all are the ones who created something called Malort. Malort is downstairs. It is a liqueur derived from wormwood. It is as delicious as something derived from wormwood would be. So, you can go check it out. It's downstairs. And if you want to ruin the rest of your day, it's downstairs. And your bartender is downstairs who will serve it to you with a grimace on her face, who is downstairs. But everybody, go check it out. Wormwood. But everybody, you can see behind us, kind of a cool shot because you're seeing the whole chamber. I haven't had this view without going in it in a while. That is the Chicago Harbor Lock. That's how we get out to Lake Michigan. We right there, everybody, lost in court. That's the result of us losing in a lawsuit to Indiana, Michigan, Wisconsin, and all of Canada. So, we lost to all of Canada and 3 states because it turns out whenever you reverse the flow of a body of water and you do it illegally, one, especially connected to the Great Lakes, you're going to lose in court because 3 states and all of Canada are going to get a team of scientists together who found over a period of 100 to 500 years that you're going to drain the Great Lake system of 1 to 2 inches of water and make parts of Lake Michigan unnavigable. Look at this beautiful, crazy little effect here on the left. You'll see that cluster of buildings way off in the distance behind the 600 by 50 marker. Way off there, everybody. That's where you would have found our 3rd red star, the World's Fair of 1893. We will go over the Chicago City flag in its entirety at a later point in the tour. But right there, everybody, check here on the left. We got the beautiful Christopher Wheatley Chicago Fire Department boat. That vessel and other vessels are the reason we run all year long. Then you got, further off in the distance, Museum Campus. That's the Adler Planetarium where you see that dome. And right here, everybody, Museum Campus, Northerly Island, 4th red star. But on the right, you're gonna see the Ferris wheel. There at Navy Pier. Navy Pier was originally called Municipal Pier 2. Municipal Pier 1 never existed. It'd be renamed Navy Pier in honor of our World War I naval veterans. Then during World War II, there would be an aviation program here at the pier. The youngest to graduate from it would be one George Herbert Walker Bush, going to be president later in life. They graduate at the age of 18 by landing his plane 8 times and only crashing 3 times. He's one of our best. So, what I mean by that, out there, way off in the distance, I say that facetiously because this is pretty awesome. They have done a recent study, and they have found 120 to 130 World War II era training planes out there in beautiful Lake Michigan. So, 3 out of that really ain't bad. But, on the right hand side, everybody, you may notice this lonely tower. By the way, please go visit Navy Pier. Very up there as far as our tourist destinations go. Up there was something called Cloud Gate, which we call the Beam. Go see the Beam if you have not already. But back to it. Lake Point Tower over here. You notice nothing else is around it. They found a loophole because Lakeshore Drive, which we are approaching, famous Lakeshore Drive, used to curve in front of the St. Regis. You are not supposed to build east on the lakeshore because Aaron Montgomery Ward and many other prominent figures in Chicago history, but most importantly, above all, the town charter clearly states that we, the public, own the lakefront. So, thanks to these few people and the town charter, we have 28 miles of free, uninterrupted, and open to the public lakefront. That is unheard of for a major city. We cannot be more appreciative of these people. But right here, buddy, it used to be a 9-hole golf course before Lakeshore Drive was straightened out. It used to curve right here, but moving on the right-hand side, you're gonna see Pikachu. What's up, Pikachu? So everybody, you're gonna see right here, 400 North Lakeshore Drive. This right here, on this piece of land, was meant to be the tallest building in Chicago. Right here, this one clearly under construction. This was gonna be the Chicago Spire. It's gonna be 2,000 feet tall. The recession happened. This was a hole in the ground for many years. We were finally getting it filled in with something beautiful. That project I'm calling beautiful, 400 North Lakeshore Drive. Look it up, it's an awesome design. 2 towers, 850 one, 750 the other. But right next door, with the green glass, light tan ornamentation, and red brick, Riverview 1 and 2. You'll see right here, what may resemble Lady Liberty's crown, Statue of Liberty. That led us to believe that the architect was from New York. He's not. He's from Chicago. He's from a place called Logan Square. But right here, everybody, last I checked, the penthouse is for sale. Let me sell it to you after I tell you about the Centennial Fountain right here. This is in honor of the 100th anniversary of us reversing the flow of the Chicago River. It shoots off a stream of water where you see these lights in this pyramid shape at the top of every hour for 5 minutes at a time. It's peaceful, it's lovely, go check it out. But, time to sell you a penthouse. Here we go. It costs $3 million. Keep listening. You will have to pay a one-time fee of $70,000 for your parking space. Keep listening. You will get a full-size basketball court. You will get a full-size racquetball court. You will get 3 500-gallon saltwater tropical fish tanks. And if everything I've said to you so far is not catching your eye, here comes the cherry on top of the sweet deal. Here we go. You're going to get a 25 person jacuzzi. Yeah. 25 people in a jacuzzi. Gross. Gross. It's too many people. It's too many people right there. Yeah. Anyway, weird. But let's move on. So, everybody, we are on the Chicago River. It is straight up called the Chicago River, and we happen to, once a year, turn it to an unnatural green color. Can anybody tell me what holiday that occurs during? St. Patrick's Day. Perfect. So, it's actually close to the green here on my microphone cover. How this comes to be, everybody, is the Plumbers Union. We have tunnel systems below us. You'll see we're approaching the Columbus Drive Bridge. You'll see right there the shallow cut pylon. You'll see more examples throughout the tour. But there are pylons. If they rupture the tunnels below, it turns the water around it that unnatural green color. So, this came to us because the Plumbers Union, it's biodegradable vegetable-based dye, dark orange in color, half is dry, done by hand, the other half is liquid, shot out the back of a hose from a large vessel. Smaller Plumber Union boats come from behind, and they mix and turn it about. It stays that way for 3+ days. It's awesome. Come check it out. It's when we start our new season every year. But, real quick, on the right, there is our Rockefeller replica, our NBC Tower Chicago. You'll see right there the peacock logo there at the top. And at the street level, whenever I think of the original Rockefeller, I think, of course, Studio 8H, Saturday Night Live. If not for Chicago, we would not have that show, because right here is the birthplace of improv comedy. And the reason I'm talking to y'all on this mic and trying stuff out while talking to you and not feeling scared about it at all, because go do improv. Go check out some shows. It's awesome. It will open your mind, and while you're here, experience it, everybody. But on the right, you're going to see University of Chicago's downtown campus, the Bleacher Center. Right here, by the way, the second city, that's what I'm referencing. That's why I moved to Chicago. But, everybody, check out the classrooms on the Bleacher Center. Notice, no windows. This was done on purpose because you are here to study, not look outward. Windows, excuse me, got choked up. But right there, everybody, right there. This is very controversial. That is prime real estate, but that's why they chose not to put them in. You're here to focus. But here on the right is our modern prairie style Apple store, which has a flat horizontal focus, the MacBook S style rooftop, and right here, horizontal focus in the glass. Often voted the best place to buy an Apple product and lose it in the same day. But right here, the Tribune Tower, where you see this bridge house close to us. This right here, everybody, we have to talk about it. This would not be a good tour if we did not talk about the father of Chicago. One Jean-Baptiste Pointe-Dussart, who was of French, Haitian, and African descent. Where you saw the Tribune Tower, you see it right now, they're set in his log cabin, his trading post, and right there is considered the first structure in what would actually become Chicago. 1780s is when this occurred. Father of Chicago, Jean-Baptiste Pointe-Dussart, who was a painter, a farmer, and a successful businessmen. So right there, that's where it started. But here on the right, you got the second tallest building in Chicago. This is the Trump International Hotel and Tower. This is by Adrian Smith, who is from Chicago and specializes in super talls. He's currently responsible for the tallest building in the world at the moment, the Burj Khalifa in Dubai. To give you an approximate height of how tall the Burj Khalifa is, look all the way to the top for me, then add a second tower on top of this one. The Burj Khalifa is 2 of these put together. Adrian Smith is not done yet though. He's doing the Kingdom Tower, which is 2.5 of these put together. It's going to be over 3,300 feet tall. It's crazy. But, everybody, this is the largest concrete reinforced structure in the world. 700 million plus pounds of poured concrete went into the structure. But, most important fact to your tour guide that I haven't told you yet, right there is where at the end of the movie called The Dark Knight, Batman defeats the Joker. Right there, everybody. This building was completed in 2009, the movie came out in 2008. But here on the right is the District Attorney's Office from the same film. Check it out. This is actually the American Medical Association Plaza, AMA Plaza, former home to IBM, and by legendary German architect Ludwig Mies van der Rohe. Not a lot going on the outside or in the structure itself. He had a philosophy of less is more. Look at this hole in the State Street Bridge. They are working on this bridge. I get asked if they work on our bridges all the time. This is a 6-month endeavor that they are 2 months into. But here on the right, the most popular buildings in all of Chicago. Check them out. So, this is Marina City. These are the Marina City Towers, otherwise known as the corn cobs of the Midwest. Check out the corn cobs, everybody. 260-story concrete stems, elevator cores, surrounded by literal pizza slice-shaped apartments. It's exactly how it sounds. Very narrow, widens out where you see the balconies. Almost 900 apartments above our heads right now. It's a city within a city. If you have a vessel, you can park it here. If you have a car, you can bring it here. It will be parked for you. That is not because they are fancy or anything. It's because they simply do not trust you not to drive off into the Chicago River. So, that's why they do that. You'll see to the back right real quick. See the House of Blues? That used to be their own personal movie theater. Pretty awesome movie theater. City within a city. You ain't gotta go nowhere. Everything you need is right here. That's what drove people here. But, on the right, everybody, you got the American Bar Association Tower right behind, right here. This is exactly what it takes in modern times to be classified as a skyscraper. 35 stories, 500 feet. Right here, Skidmore, Owings & Merrill, completed in 1987. So, you can hear a bus coming through. Everybody on the right. This beautiful red brick structure is your typical Chicago warehouse. Look at this one. It's kept in pristine condition. This is the Chicago School style of architecture. Right here, all of that structural elements are being blocked out by this beautiful red brick. This Reed Murdoch is from 1914, and it used to be a grocery warehouse. It's now home to the kitchen, Britannica, Whirlpool, and River Roast. Check it out. This used to be actually people's least favorite building because right here used to be traffic court. No longer, now people like it again. But as we keep going, that last building from 1914. Long time ago, we've gotten greener since then. On the right hand side, completed in 2009 by Picard Chilton, 300 North LaSalle, is LEED certified platinum. You'll see that badge right there on the fence line. LEED stands for Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design. So, platinum is the highest award you can achieve. Besides that, above that, is being a living building. So, this is almost as green as it gets, still pretty green. It uses the Chicago River water, circulates it all the way to the rooftop, where there is a rooftop garden. It mitigates it, circulates it through the building, pulling it off this entire time, then eventually returns it cleaner to the river than it ever thought about being. Beautiful green design. But, take this in, everybody. On the right hand side, look at this entire structure. What you're seeing was the largest building in the world and the States until something called the Pentagon came along. This is the Merchandise Mart. Limestone covering it, Art Deco is what it is, by Graham Anderson Probst and Light. You'll see these strong vertical columns going all the way up to these setbacks, geometric shapes and patterns throughout. you'll see these Pez dispensers out front. These are the busts of famous Chicago merchants. That joke is by one David Letterman. But right here, everybody, this is 4.25 million square feet. Has over 8 miles worth of hallway. Over 500 showrooms. Was originally made to consolidate all of Marshall Field's warehouses into one. And until 2008, it had its own zip code, 60654. But right here, everyone, we're now at Wolf Point. You'll see Wolf Point East on the right, Salesforce Tower here in the middle, Wolf Point West around the bend, and right here, everybody, this is not where we started. I told you about John Baptiste Point de Saab's log cabin, his trading post. This, however, is where we would take shape. This is where we really put our roots down, and we incorporated as a town in 1834, a city in 1837, and what you would have found many years ago, among many things, is a ferry system bringing you at every point here at Wolf Point. But on the left, you would have found a tavern. To the back right, you would have found a tavern. To the front right, you would have found a tavern, because we had 3 places to get a drink before we had one church or one school. Welcome to Chicago. So, everybody, big drinking culture up here. But why are we called that? Well, low-lying swampland is where we're at, preoccupied by many tribes. Specific, though, to the Miami and the Illinois, the word Chicagoa, which stands for the place of bad smells and smelly onions. So, right here, welcome to the smelly onion. That is where you are, here in Chicago. Wild onions used to grow around us all right here, and the hot months would roll around, causing them to decay and smell awful. That's where we got our name. But, here on the right, some of you have noticed, an upside-down building. These are 50-plus stories being held up by a mere 40 feet of base. So, check it out. Look at the slanted glass portion above our heads, and then wave at yourselves. Say hello to yourself. Check yourself out. So, everybody, look through the lobby here. You'll see all of the lobby. You'll see that red big brick building on the opposite side. It has the train yards on the opposite side of it. They can clearly not build all the way up to the river, so they haven't. And you see these Luxembourg steel I-beams, strongest steel in the world, tracing all the way to the top of the structure, where at the top of this you will find 4 tanks of 150,000 gallons of water on rollers combating the wind sway. If that did not exist, everybody, building's going nowhere because of those I-beams, but the people inside will then be able to tell that they are moving around quite a bit. If that did not exist, they would go to the bathroom from extreme nausea every 30 minutes. That is why that exists. So, here next door neighbor, 100 North Riverside, former home to Boeing International, and right here, Morton Salt, a long time ago. So, part of that reason that the building is built upside down, the train also starts to go underneath its next door neighbor. So, you're seeing train ventilation right here, where these people are walking down, right there. 100 North Riverside by Perkins and Will. They completed their building, their foundations. They then realized, oh, if the train were ever to derail, then our building's going to crumble to the ground. So, that is very problematic. That's a big problem to have. Notice also to the back right, our bridge houses keep changing. How they chose to complete or fix their problem, though, look on the back half of 100 North Riverside. You'll see 5 white X-bracing bridge trusses there in the sky, holding it up like a diving board. Does everybody see that right there? Check it out. That is all that holds up the back half of 100 North Riverside. Check it out. Crazy engineering. It's the only building in Chicago you can run your entire arm underneath. But on the right, 2 North Riverside Plaza, former home to the Chicago Daily News. And right here, everybody, modeled after the Sphinx, if you look closely. Art Deco, Halliburton Rouge. Right here, home to Chicago water taxi stop, which we own and operate. And I gotta tell you right now, best way to get to Chinatown, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I say that because I used to live down there, I miss it quite a bit. If you do anything while you're here, besides obviously this, go visit maybe a pier, see the bean, or in my opinion, what you should do after this, or while you're in town, check out the Art Institute. Go explore 77 unique and individual neighborhoods. That is what makes up Chicago. Chinatown would be the first one I'd send you to. That's because I'm biased. But On the right hand side, check out here on the right, at eye level, clearly a train. You're going to see above, right here, a building. Gateway 1 is what this is. Here on the right is the Gateway Center. So, it's made up of, comprised of 4 separate structures. Gateway 1 looks a lot like Gateway 2. Gateway 3 is the white-clad Gateway 1, or excuse me, white-clad one. And way off in the distance, the curved glassy one is Gateway 4. So, right here everybody, clearly Gateway 1 and 2 have the trains below their building. You cannot build a building above the train without having to purchase the air above it in which to build. It's exactly how it sounds. You're paying for literal air rights. You're paying for air. I do not know what they pay as a whole for separate buildings, but if you'd be so kind, everybody, to look to the back of the vessel, you'll see all 5 of those X bridges right there, X bracing bridge truss, excuse me, right there. That is all that holds it up. And 100 North Riverside right there pays $1.5 million a year simply for the air above the building. Simply for the air above the building. That is the most American thing you're going to hear on my tour. But on the way, right hand side, you're going to see the white clad Gateway 3. You're going to see the small black X box, if you will indulge me. Check it out. These X bracings right here on the outside. This was revolutionary. This predated the John Hancock, the tallest building in Chicago. One, Ramon Fossil Khan and Bruce Graham would team up to do this. They would then do in 1969 the Hancock. Then in 1974 they would do the building in I-L-L-I-S. That is pronounced, if you're not from here, Sears. That's the Sears Tower. So, right there everybody, it's actually the Willis Tower in reality, but that's because they own the naming rights in one floor. But we forever and will always call that Sears. It may soon be called home to the United Tower, which we like a little bit more, but we're going to call it the Sears then as well. But right here everybody, check it out. Tallest building in Chicago, 1,454 feet tall, 110 stories, has 107 elevators. Why? Does it need that many? Well, you'll see the strong vertical line right there. These are 9 75-foot boxes bundled together. It's called tubular bundled design. How this came to be, one, Bruce Graham was at the Chicago Club. There was quite literally a fishbowl full of cigarettes. He dug his hand into the fishbowl. He got a whole palm full, made them even, top to bottom, flush side to side. He pushed up from the bottom, which resulted in the top piece I'm about to show you again. It's a pack of cigarettes. Check out that pack of cigarettes there at the top. He realized the cigarettes are much stronger bundled together than one would be on its own, so thanks to smoking, that's how we got the tallest building in the world for 25 years. Check it out. But you will have seen on the 103rd story, 5 glass boxes jutting out from the edge. Those are called make up the ledge. Choose to step out to a glass box, look 103 stories to the ground. Behind those glass boxes is something called the sky deck, where on a clear day from the states of, or from up there, you can see the states of Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, and Wisconsin. See 4 different states. That's how high in the sky you are. But if you choose to step out into a glass box, or you're somebody who's freaked out by the idea of doing this, here comes a story that's going to make things worse. So, here we go. 2 of them actually. Back in 2014, a single individual was walking out to one of the glass boxes. The glass below his feet, directly below his feet, shattered. Fast forward to 2019. A mother and her 2 kids walked onto one of the glass boxes. The glass directly below their feet shattered. So, why did it not break? Well, they thought it was going to. They were very freaked out by this. The thing that shattered below their feet was the protective layer of the box. The protective layer is there to make sure that the layer that is on the bottommost part of the box does not get scratches on it. So, right there, everybody, these people thought they almost, experienced that was perfect sound to me, but right there, everybody, they thought they almost experienced an absolute tragedy. They're very freaked out by this, and then the people who worked up there told them exactly what I just told you, and this is what the people who work up there were met with. I don't care. I don't care if it's a protective layer. please get me out of this place. I don't want to be up here because 103 stories in the ground. But right here, everyone, check it out on the right real quick. Civic Opera Building. There's a V. The letter U does not exist in the Roman alphabet. Look above, home to our lyric opera, seats 3,500. You'll see comedy and drama masked right here. And you're seeing what resembles a throne. We call this Insull's throne. Samuel Insull was a railroad magnate / utilities magnate. His railroad, you can hear the train here on the left. See it coming through. Check it out. And right here, everybody, his railroads were further out west. But on the right, Bank of America Tower. This is by Getch Partners. This completed in 2017. This used to be a 6-story office building. So you can see they have upgraded quite a bit. They did not, however, forget where they came from. So here at eye level, you're going to see this wavy panels. That is all that remains of the 6-story office building. And if you look at this 3-pronged trident, follow my fingers, that is the upside down building. They are responsible for both of these structures. They are very proud of what they accomplished in this one, especially because for almost 8 decades, they did not know how to build on this piece of land. They are the ones who finally figured it out. And check it out again on the left. But enough of what's happening on the left. On the right is the Starbucks. Check out Starbucks. Check it out. Starbucks. Cool. So right here, buddy, we have thousands of these right here, but I only bring it up because Chicago was chosen outside of Seattle, where it obviously originated, as the second location to expand to. It's on the Magnificent Mile. It's 5 stories tall. It's called the Starbucks Reserve Roastery. Go check it out. But on the right, Beatnik, speaking of things to check out, very nice restaurant, go check it out. Behind it, this red brick building. This is by Halliburton and Roche once again, completed in the 1920s. And right here, everybody, let's talk about where it stands, mainly this land. Right here was Chicago's first hotel, the Saguenay Hotel. And in 1860, something called the Wigwam sat right here. And this is where one Abraham Lincoln would win the nomination to become president, right here on this piece of land. He almost did it though. There had to be a recount where he'd win by just 4 votes, thanks to the state of Ohio. Thank you, Ohio. But on the right hand side, everybody, you'll see here at Riverwalk level, this extends all the way to Lakeshore Drive. We saw that part earlier, but people relaxing here at Wolf Point. Do 360 if you didn't earlier, look around. But you'll see some local print right here. You'll see above that though, our most perfect example of contextualism. So, contextualism is mimicking, matching one's surroundings. So, 333 Wacker Drive right here, it bends at the bend in the river. The glass is the same color as the body of water below us, and the architect got the idea for that color of glass from a bottle of Perrier. But, right here everybody, also go to Chicago's favorite building, look at the reflection, it is beautiful, but I have not told you the most important thing. Right there is Ferris Bueller's dad's office building. That's where Ferris Bueller's dad works. Big John Hughes crowd based off that reaction. But as we keep going, everybody, on the Riverwalk here on the right hand side, you're gonna see this stainless steel fixture. This is called an eyelash. It protects us from debris as we walk underneath the bridges on the Riverwalk. And right here, everyone, this is free. This is free. Check out this stainless steel box with projectors inside of it. This projectioner box right here, projectionist box right here, projects onto the entirety of the merchandise mart from Thursday through Sunday, 8:30 to 9, a free art show called Art on the Mart. It's actually really awesome. It used to run for an hour for all week. I don't know why they changed the hours, but the person who's living in Chicago for 3 whole weeks. 3 whole weeks. So, everybody, we're slipping back into our dock. That means it's time to talk about what I save last and what I consider best. That's where we called home for 90 seasons. And this is the beautiful, beautiful Wrigley building. This is Spanish colonial revival style. You'll see the clock tower there at the top, modeled after a bell tower in Seville, Spain, the Giralda Tower. This is named after one William Wrigley Jr., who would eventually make his fortune in gum. He did not initially. He was selling soap, detergents, things along those lines, and things were not going well at all. Until he put in the box everything came with, sticks of gum. things started to go off like crazy after that because people told him, we don't like what you make besides this gum, so please do so. And he would listen. They would give to us at the World's Fair of 1893, our third Red Star, juicy fruit. He'd go from there to spearmint and so on and so forth. But right here, everybody, with that, I'm gonna get you off this vessel. Did you have a good time? Did you have a good time? Awesome, awesome, awesome. Absolute pleasure. Thanks so much. Can we keep that going for the crew? They are here.
Safe in your shadow, I rise again. You lift my soul